legendary performer Wayne Newton, known as Mr. Las Vegas, stunned the world when, at 80 years old, he revealed a life marked by financial ruin and extreme poverty. A beloved icon with a career that spanned decades, Newton's shocking decline was largely due to a series of devastating business missteps that wiped out his fortune. In this video, we take you through the highs and lows, detailing how his dazzling success unraveled into unexpected hardship after losing everything. Don't miss this eye-opening look at Wayne Newton's life after fame and fortune. The early years. A star is born and born to shine. Wayne Newton's journey to becoming the king of Las Vegas is as dazzling as the neon lights on the Vegas Strip. He went from a small-town kid with big dreams to a living legend who has performed over 30,000 shows. Born on April 3, 1942, in the small town of Norfolk, Virginia, he came from humble beginnings and was raised in a musical family. Newton was part Native American and often credited his Cherokee heritage as a source of his pride and determination. While other kids were busy playing outside, young Wayne and his brother Jerry were harmonizing together, blending their voices in a way that people couldn't ignore. By the time he was just 4 years old, Newton was already learning to play instruments like the piano, guitar, and steel guitar. But don't be fooled into thinking his talent meant an easy road. Newton's family moved to Ohio when he was young, and he had his fair share of battles with asthma, forcing him to miss a lot of school. Yet, even with the health setbacks, Newton was obsessed with music. While he couldn't spend much time running around, he used his quiet time to refine his skills, adding a unique depth to his voice and performances. In fact, it was during this time that Newton became obsessed with a dream. He was going to make it big. Newton and his brother Jerry had big aspirations, and they weren't going to let anything hold them back. By the late 1950s, they began performing on local TV and radio shows in Phoenix, Arizona, where the family had moved. It wasn't long before their talents caught the attention of Vegas talent scouts who spotted them performing in front of a captivated audience. Imagine two teenagers singing their hearts out in a tiny club, with no idea that they were about to get the opportunity of a lifetime. Soon enough, the Newton brothers were booked for a 2-week gig in Las Vegas. What they didn't know, that 2-week booking was about to launch Wayne Newton into an enduring love affair with Las Vegas. It wasn't an easy start. At first, they played in obscure clubs, often performing to a handful of people. Newton sometimes jokes about those days, saying he could practically name each audience member. In the early 1960s, Newton's career took a dramatic turn when he met Jackie Gleason, the legendary comedian and TV star, who saw something in him. Gleason invited Newton to perform on his television show, and suddenly, America had a new sweetheart with an unforgettable voice. Then, in 1963, Newton hit it big with the song that would become his signature hit, Danky Shown, a charming, multilingual tune that made everyone swoon. Danky Shown was the kind of song that got stuck in your head, and, more importantly, one that showcased Newton's remarkable vocal range. You might think this was it, that Danky Shown was the peak, but Newton was just getting started. He quickly became a fixture in Vegas, a city that suited him as much as he suited it. Over the years, he learned to not only sing and perform but to command the stage with a magnetic presence that few could match. Newton's shows became iconic, a must-see for anyone who set foot in Vegas. By the 70s, he was headlining at the Frontier and later at the Desert Inn. His passion was palpable, and he quickly earned his famous nickname, Mr. Las Vegas. Like any good Vegas tale, Newton's story isn't without its fair share of ups and downs. The 1980s brought financial struggles, legal battles, and the near collapse of his empire. But here's where Newton's story gets really interesting. While many stars might have faded, Newton dug in his heels. He became a savvy businessman, and by the 90s he was back, more determined than ever. He secured a deal at the Stardust Hotel that ran for a decade, cementing his status as an indomitable figure in Vegas history. His journey also crossed paths with pop culture in unexpected ways. Remember the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off? That was Danky Shown playing during one of its most memorable scenes. introducing Newton to a whole new generation. Newton's personal life. Newton married Elaine Okamura in 1968, during the height of his career in Las Vegas. Their relationship seemed like a perfect match for a man who was quickly becoming a Vegas icon. Elaine was by his side as his fame grew, and together, they had a daughter, Erin, in 1976. For years, they appeared to have a picture-perfect family, but like many relationships in the high-pressure world of entertainment, it eventually faced strains. The couple divorced in 1985 after nearly 2 decades together. After his divorce, Newton took time to focus on his career, immersing himself in performances that only fueled his public image as a consummate entertainer. But life had more in store for him when he crossed paths with Kathleen McCrone, a lawyer from North Olmsted, Ohio. They married in 1994, and Newton found not only love but a new kind of balance with Kathleen. She brought a sense of stability to his life, a life that, with all its glitz, could feel chaotic at times. In 2002, Newton and Kathleen welcomed their daughter, Lauren Ashley, into the world. This was a special chapter in Newton's life. By then, he was already a household name and a celebrated veteran in Vegas. He embraced fatherhood with a new depth of appreciation, wanting to be present for Lauren in a way that the demands of his career had once made difficult with Erin. He's often spoken about the joy Lauren has brought into his life, and it's clear that she's one of his greatest treasures. Wayne Newton's passion beyond the stage. His ranch and Arabian horses. When he wasn't dazzling audiences in Vegas, Newton could often be found at his sprawling ranch, Casa de Shenandoah. This wasn't just a home. It was a personal paradise where he could indulge his passion for Arabian horses. He became an accomplished breeder, and his love for these horses turned into a full-fledged pursuit, even winning awards for breeding some of the finest Arabian horses in the world. Casa de Shenandoah became a retreat from the glitz of Vegas, a place where he could find peace and connect with nature. Newton even opened the ranch to the public for tours, letting fans see a side of him that was rarely visible on stage. The property became as much a part of his identity as his music and performances. Financial and legal challenges, a test of resilience. Wayne Newton, the name alone is Las Vegas magic, synonymous with dazzling performances, packed houses, and that unmistakable charisma. Mr. Las Vegas was a headline act for decades. Yet beyond the glimmering casino lights, Newton's life unfolded into a lesser-known tale of financial drama, extravagant spending, risky investments, and costly legal battles that ultimately led him to file for bankruptcy in 1992. Today, let's take a closer look behind the showbiz curtain at the turbulent financial journey of one of America's most iconic entertainers. Newton's troubles didn't appear overnight. From the beginning, his taste for a lavish lifestyle seemed endless, funded by impressive earnings but fueled by a desire for the best that money could buy. In the height of his career, he lived like royalty, collecting luxury homes, a fleet of custom cars, and even a private jet reportedly worth $20 million. Each purchase became a symbol of his success, but each also inched him closer to financial instability. Soon, his lifestyle outpaced his ability to support it, planting the seeds of what would become an overwhelming debt crisis. But it wasn't just personal extravagance that pushed Newton into financial trouble. His ventures beyond the stage proved even more disastrous. One particularly costly endeavor was a horse breeding ranch, a passion project that became a financial black hole. Although he invested heavily, hoping to profit from breeding and selling elite racehorses, the ranch hemorrhaged money. Instead of becoming the lucrative sideline he envisioned, it became a serious liability, draining his resources and adding to his growing debt. The stage that made Newton a star was also shifting beneath his feet. By the 1980s, Las Vegas was moving away from traditional solo headliners like Newton, opting instead for larger-scale productions that incorporated multiple acts, elaborate stagecraft, and special effects. While these spectacles were thrilling to audiences, they pushed classic solo acts out of the spotlight, cutting into Newton's booking fees and reducing his appeal. This change in the entertainment landscape posed a direct challenge to Newton's career. As Las Vegas transformed into a haven for blockbuster productions, Newton's once in-demand solo act began to seem less relevant, further impacting his income and his ability to sustain his high-spending lifestyle. But perhaps the most public setback of all was a 1989 lawsuit over a miniseries that NBC aired titled Blood Ties. The drama depicted a singer with alleged mob connections, which Newton felt mirrored his life too closely. Feeling his reputation was on the line, he sued NBC for defamation. Although he managed to settle out of court, the legal battle was long and expensive. The financial and emotional toll of the lawsuit added fuel to an already raging fire, burning away the last of his financial stability. By 1992, Newton's debts had escalated to an astonishing $20 million. As his earning power waned, his lifestyle demands remained high, and his investments failed to deliver. The combined weight of mounting debts, legal fees, and business losses finally forced him into Chapter 11 bankruptcy, a decision that shocked fans and left many wondering how such a celebrated figure could find himself in such a financial predicament. His story is a cautionary tale, a reminder that fame and fortune don't guarantee financial security. Lavish spending, risky investments, and the shifting sands of the entertainment industry can create a dangerous trap, one that can ensnare even the brightest stars. Newton, who had dedicated his life to entertaining audiences, found himself caught in a financial struggle he couldn't sing his way out of. Yet Newton's resilience proved remarkable. He weathered the storm, restructuring his debts and managing to hold on to his career. By securing a residency in Las Vegas, Newton managed to make a comeback, recapturing the city's spotlight in his signature style. His bankruptcy may have dimmed the lights on his life temporarily, but his story is one of persistence, a testament to the grit behind the glitz of Mr. Las Vegas. Wayne Newton, Mr. Las Vegas himself, has a story as layered as the glittering city he helped define. Though he dazzled audiences and became a Vegas legend, Newton's life took dramatic turns when fame, fortune, and ambition collided, leading to a spectacular rise, a harrowing fall, and ultimately, an inspiring comeback. His journey from luxurious highs to the depths of financial ruin and back is a reminder that in show business, and in life, the show must go on. As a Las Vegas headliner, Newton was once the epitome of luxury. His flamboyant image and powerful voice earned him sky-high fees for his residencies, and he indulged in every extravagance that success afforded him. Newton's life was a spectacle in itself. He had a sprawling mansion, a private jet worth a reported $20 million, a fleet of luxury cars, and even a Vegas estate called Casa de Shenandoah, complete with Arabian horses and peacocks roaming the grounds. He was living the American dream on steroids, but beneath the glamorous exterior, his financial foundation was cracking. Newton's troubles ran deeper than lavish spending. Questionable investments, particularly in a costly horse-breeding ranch, drained his finances. The ranch, which he saw as a promising venture, quickly turned into a financial drain, costing more than it ever earned. To make matters worse, Newton's feud with the IRS over disputed taxes spiraled into years of legal battles, adding penalties and fees to his already mounting debt. As Newton's financial pressures grew, the Las Vegas entertainment scene itself was transforming. By the late 1980s, Vegas moved away from classic solo performers, favoring high-budget productions with multi-act lineups and impressive stage effects. This shift made Newton's solo act less commercially viable, slashing his booking fees and making it harder to sustain his costly lifestyle. Then, in 1989, an unexpected setback shook him further. NBC aired a miniseries, Blood Ties, featuring a storyline about a singer with mob connections, a character Newton felt was all too similar to himself. Outraged, he sued NBC for defamation. Though the case eventually settled out of court, the legal costs compounded his already precarious financial position. By 1992, Newton was grappling with over $20 million in debt, a sum that forced him to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. For many, this would have been the end, But Newton's resilience proved stronger than his financial woes. Undeterred, he embarked on a comeback tour. Although no longer headlining the city's largest stages, he connected with fans in more intimate venues, embracing a stripped-down style that showcased his enduring charm and talent. Newton's financial situation gradually improved, even if it never quite returned to its former heights. His smaller shows resonated deeply with audiences, allowing him to connect in ways his massive Vegas spectacles hadn't. Adapting to changing times, he branched into new opportunities, lending his voice to animated shows and making memorable appearances on celebrity reality TV. While these projects lacked the grandeur of his Vegas heyday, they underscored Newton's versatility and helped him rebuild his finances and fame. Today, Wayne Newton is worth approximately $50 million, a far cry from the debts of his past and a testament to his perseverance. His story is more than a rags-to-riches saga or a cautionary tale about the perils of unchecked ambition. It's a powerful reminder that the road to success is rarely a straight line. Even those who appear larger than life can stumble, but Newton's comeback embodies the spirit of Las Vegas itself: reinvention, resilience, and the unyielding desire to entertain. Wayne Newton remains a legend, an icon of Las Vegas who defined an era and survived its challenges. His life is a glittering paradox of fame and hardship, showmanship and struggle, ambition and caution. In the end, Newton leaves a legacy of vibrant performances, extravagant living, and a cautionary tale for dreamers of the Strip, a reminder that, sometimes, the brightest stars also bear the deepest scars. Legal battles over Casa de Shenandoah. In recent years, Newton's famous estate, Casa de Shenandoah, became a focal point of legal disputes. After turning the ranch into a tourist attraction in 2015, Newton entered into a business partnership with a company that managed the property as a museum. However, a series of disagreements led to a messy legal battle. Newton and his family claimed the company neglected the property's maintenance and that they faced issues over the quality of animal care and security for his memorabilia. Eventually, Newton reclaimed the property and closed it to the public, marking the end of its brief stint as a tourist attraction. Mafia rumors and controversy with Johnny Carson. In the 1980s, Newton's name was also tied to a bizarre controversy involving alleged mafia connections. A congressional investigation into organized crime in Las Vegas raised questions about Newton's potential ties to mobsters who reportedly had influence in the casino industry. Newton denied any connection to organized crime, though the rumors lingered in tabloids and press coverage. The situation even led to a confrontation with late-night legend Johnny Carson, who repeatedly referenced the rumors in his monologues. Newton sued Carson for defamation, and the case was settled out of court. This feud, though behind the scenes, revealed Newton's unwillingness to let gossip and innuendo go unchecked. Dispute with a pilot and assault allegations. In 2009, Newton was embroiled in a lawsuit filed by a pilot, Monty Ward, who alleged that Newton had physically assaulted him during an argument about unpaid wages. Ward claimed he was owed over $60,000 in back wages and benefits, and when he tried to address the issue, Newton allegedly responded with aggression. Newton denied the assault allegations, and the case was ultimately settled, though it added another layer of drama to his already colorful life. Despite these controversies, Wayne Newton has managed to maintain a relatively positive public image. His career in Vegas continued to flourish, and his legal and financial woes are often seen as mere footnotes in an otherwise remarkable career. He's a true Vegas survivor, showing that while scandals may come and go, his love for performing and his resilience keep him in the spotlight.